Okay, so let's start here. So guys, already yesterday we have seen the basic introduction about the Azure Databricks. So today we'll move with further. So when we talk about the Azure Databricks, guys, as we already know that Databricks is nothing but this is used to, okay, or the Databricks is nothing but it is provided in Azure. It is provided in Azure. Okay, so that means the Databricks is okay. It's not a the basically it's not the product, or you can say something like with the Azure. The Databricks can be used even with the Azure, even with the Amazon, even with the Google. That is GCP, AWS, and Azure. So Databricks can be used with anything. So why Databricks is used? The Databricks is nothing but it provides the Apache Spark cluster, wherein it is used to process the very huge volume of the data in a that is nothing but in a that is a couple of seconds. Very huge volume of data in the couple of seconds here. Okay. So anyways, about the database architecture, everything we will see one after the other. Okay. So let me just go through this, the basic one. You have it. So we have the Azure Databricks is nothing but the Azure Databricks is nothing but one of the cloud service. One of the, what is it, guys? Cloud service. One of the cloud service provided by the Azure. One of the cloud service provided by the Azure. So we can say the Azure Databricks is nothing but it is one of the cloud service, guys. It is one of the everyone. It is one of the cloud service. It is one of the cloud service, guys. Okay. Azure Databricks is nothing but one of the cloud service provided here in the Azure. That means Databricks as used, Databricks is used in Azure as a service. I can say Databricks is used in Azure as a service which provides the following jobs to be performed. Okay, so what are those? Yesterday already we have seen it. So I can say, guys, the first type of job which the Databricks can achieve it is what? Data migration. And then you have what's the data integration, data migration, data integration. Then we have the next one is what? Data summarization. Yes, guys, data migration, data integration, data summarization. So these are all the jobs we can perform it by using the Azure Databricks as a service, where the Azure Databricks, in short, we are going to call this one as a ADB. ADB, that is called as what? Azure Databricks. The ADB is nothing but what? The ADB is called as what? Azure Databricks, guys. Okay. So it is called as what? Yeah, it is called as what? Azure Databricks, wherein the Databricks we are going to see on a language. Okay. So what is that language we are going to see it here? We are going to see it on the PySpark. Anyways, we'll discuss what is PySpark. Do not worry. PySpark is nothing but, as of now, I can tell you, it is Python plus Spark together. Python and Spark together is called as the PySpark, guys. Python and Spark together is called as the PySpark. So using this ADB, that is the Azure Databricks, we can perform the data migration, data integration, and as well as the data summarization. Okay. So that means the Databricks we are using as a cloud service to perform the following task we have it, guys. But when we talk about this task and everything, the whole process of this PySpark or the Databricks here starts, guys. Starts with the data. Here starts with what? Data. So what is my data? Data is nothing but the whole process depends on the data, guys. The whole process depends on the data. So what do you mean data? Data is nothing but what, guys, everyone? Information. So without the information, there is no business. Am I right, everyone? Yes, everyone. Without the information, everyone, without the information, there is no business. So you can say data is nothing but, what is it? Data is nothing but what? Information. And this information, everyone, this information, we always receive it, guys. This information, we always get it. This information, we always get it, guys. This information, we always get it from what? From the business. Okay. The data or the information, whatever we get it, this we get it from what is that? Business. So whatever business we can have it, guys, any type of business, such as you can say, guys, social networking sites, as already we have discussed it, social networking sites. Okay, so social networking sites are those which generates the massive volume of the data. Okay, social networking sites are those which generates the massive volume of the data, such as, what are those we have it, guys? Such as we can say was, what's that? Facebook, FB, and Insta. Facebook, okay, what's it? FB, Insta, and then we have the Twitter. Okay, then we have the professional use as a LinkedIn, etc. So these are all the various type of business from where we get the data. That is called as what, guys? Everyone, big data. You can call it as what? Big data. So big data means what, guys? Everyone, the massive volume of the data. That is the huge volume of the data is called as what? Big data. The huge volume of the data. Yes, guys. The huge volume of the data is called as what? Big data. The huge volume of the data is called as big data. Now, apart from this, what are the other sources of getting the data, guys? Here you can say social networking sites as the first major source of getting the data. And apart from this, what is the other sources from where we can expect the data, guys? We can get the data from data. We can get the data from, what is it, guys? Or the information. Data or information, I can say. We can get it from where? From the data or the information. We get it from where, guys? Everyone, the data or the information, we always get it from where? Again, the business. And this business can be, what's it, guys? Live streaming process. Live streaming process is what? Live streaming process is a process where, yes, guys, live streaming process is a process where we get the data on the continuous basis. The data on the we get the data on the continuous basis, guys. Okay, live streaming process is a process where we get the data from that is from the that is continuous basis. We get the data. So what is live streaming process here? Okay, such as we can say, guys, the data which we received from the stock market. The data which we received from the stock market, guys, everyone. The data which we received from the stock market is called as what? Stock market is nothing but the share market. We get the data every minute. The data keeps on changing here. Am I right? So even this data is called as what? Big data. The other name for the big data is what, guys? Huge data. Okay, or what's it? Huge information. Huge information. That is called as what? Huge information. That is the massive amount of data, which is called as what? Huge data or the huge information. We have it. Then, apart from this, what are the other sources of getting the data, guys? We can have many sources, but I can say some of the sources we can discuss it here, guys. So those are nothing but we get the data from the business ultimately. You can get the data from the business, and whereas this business is nothing but what is that? We can get the data from the business, and this business basically, guys, this business we get the data from the business, and this business is nothing but is the data from the business, and we can say, guys, IoT sensors. So what is my IoT sensors? These are the sensors which measures, what is that? The following, what is that? The pressure, gas, okay, temperature, etc. So these are all the data it collects it. So hence this data will be in what? Again, it will be, what's it, guys? That is called as what? Massive data. The other name for the huge data or the big data is also called as what? Massive data. Data means what? Information. So likewise, guys, we can also get the data or the information, everyone. We can also get the data or the information from the business. And now this type, I can say, guys, it can be the human generated data, or this, guys, you can say it is what? Human generated data, everyone. We can say it is human generated data or machine generated data. Human generated data or the machine generated data. This is also called as what, guys? Big data. So anyways, we can have many sources of getting the data. So overall, this whole data, guys, is called as what is it, everyone? Big data. This whole data is called as what, everyone? Big data. We call it as what? The whole data, we call it as what? Big data. That is called as what? Massive amount of data. That is called as what? Big data. So now, when we talk about the big data, guys, the big data is basically classified or divided or classified into three types. What is the first one? You can say structured data. And the second one, you can say, guys, semi-structured data. We can say unstructured data. Hmm? So guys, here we can say what? The data is classified into three categories. What is it? Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. Structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as what is it? Unstructured data. So these are the three categories of data we can have. Okay. Now let us try to discuss each one of it. Hmm. So when we talk about the structured data, guys, so structured data means what? The data which is always kept in the proper format. That means it does not require changes to be made, guys. Directly, the data which we receive in the proper format is called as a structured data. So what is structured data, guys? Structured data is nothing but the data which is already, guys, the data which is already kept in the proper form of data. That is called as what? Structured data. That is in the form of a table. And when we talk about the table is the collection of what is it, guys? Rows and columns. Yes. The structured data is kept in the form of what? Table, that is in the form of a rows and columns. The data, there is nothing but structured data is kept in the form of what is that? Rows and columns. Structured data is nothing but which is kept in the form of what? Rows and columns. The structured data is kept in the form of what? Rows and columns. That is in the form of what? Rows and columns. The structured data is kept in the form of what? Rows and columns. Rows and columns. So guys, I can say now here I'm giving the name, ID, salary, and job. These are the four columns we have it. Okay. And in this, I'm just putting up the data here, guys, everyone. So I can say, guys, can you see here? This is the data we have it. And the salary is, let us say, 70,000. Job is then you have senior clerk, Carl, manager. Can you see here? These are all, can you see here? These are all called as what? A structured data. That is just by looking into the data, you can say, guys, just by looking into the data, you can say this is a data which is classified or kept in the proper form of what's that? Rows and columns. So hence the table name of this is nothing but EMP. So this is called as structured data. Structured data does not require any changes to be made, guys. You don't require to make any changes on this data directly. Directly we can just look into this data here. Okay. Directly we can look into the data and we can start the process. The structured data does not require anyone. The structured data does not require any changes to be made on the same. So hence we can say, guys, the structured data is nothing but it's a proper form of data where it is kept in the form of what is it, rows and columns, where it is kept in the form of what, rows and columns. So this is called as what, structured data. It is called as what, guys, structured data. Now, what do you mean by the semi-structured basically? The semi-structured, semi means what, guys, everyone? The semi-structured means what? It is not fully structured. It is not kept in the form of proper rows and columns, but still it has some structure, guys. But still it has some structure. So we can say what's it, guys, everyone? So here we can say it is fully structured, but still it has some structure here. Okay. So where the semi-structured data is nothing but that it is kept in the form of a JSON, okay, in the form of a Excel files, in the form of what is it, one JSON, XML, and then you have what is it, HTML. JSON, XML, HTML. These are all the formats of data we have it. Okay. These are all the formats of data we can have it. JSON, XML, HTML. These are all the formats of data we can have it here. Okay. These are all the formats of data we can have it. JSON, XML, HTML. Okay, guys. JSON, XML, and HTML. These are all the formats of the data we can say, guys. Okay. So now let us discuss what is a JSON. When we talk about the JSON file, guys. Okay. So basically, we will have to understand each one of the file, guys, because in the future we are going to deal with all this data. So first of all, we will discuss what is a JSON. JSON stands for Java Script Object Notation File, where in short we call it as what, JSON. In short, we call it as what, JSON. And the data here in the JSON, guys, everyone. And the JSON is always recorded. Yes, guys. And the JSON is always recorded in the form of what is that, guys? The JSON is always recorded in the form of a key value. To JavaScript object notation file, that is called as what, JSON. JavaScript object notation file, that is called as a JSON file. So now let's just see the JSON file. How does it looks like? Everyone, let's understand this. The data in the JSON format is recorded in the form of a key value pair. What's it? Key value pair. So what is the key? What is this value and what is this pair? Let's try to understand this. Always make sure the columns is called as a keys here, everyone. The columns is called as what, guys? Keys here. So what are the columns? You have it, name, ID, salary, and job. These are the columns, no? So these columns are called as what? Keys here always. These columns are called as what, guys, everyone? These columns are called as what? Keys here. These columns are called as what? Keys here. Okay, everyone. These columns are called as what? Keys here. So keys is nothing but what? The columns is always called as the keys here. I can say, guys, everyone, the key value pair. So I can say, guys, the keys. So I can say, I'll put it in the curly brace. Now, what's the first key? Make sure always the keys are kept in the form of quotes. So we can say name is the quote, and then you have what is it, guys? A colon and the value for the name. So what's the value for the name here in the first line? Then is the value. Then you have a comma. Come to the next line. What's the next key? What is everyone? I can say the next key is what? ID. Then you have the ID as what? Can you see 443 and the numeric data. Na? So place here normally. There will be no quotes here. And the third line, guys, everyone. The third line we can say, guys, everyone. The third line is there is a third column is the salary. And the salary is what I can say, guys, 70,000. Comma. Come to the next line. Job. The job is the clerk here. So finally, we have all this. Okay. So this is called as the first row here. The rows are written like this. Okay. So now, anyways, you have the clerk is a character data to put under the quotes here. That's it. Okay. So this is nothing but the first row, guys. What about the second row? What about the second row? I can say here. Everyone, what is the second row? You have it. The second row is what? Bobby. So I'll just change it here. Bobby. And ID number 80,000 in your flag. Then I think you have what's it? Carl. So here, as you have many rows, commas are placed here. And finally, this is the end of the data. So as you have only 3 rows, so this is nothing but the complete data, 3 rows data written in the form of a JSON format. It is written in the format of what, guys? JSON format. It is written in the format of what? JSON format here. Okay. It is written in the format of what? JSON format. It is written in the format of what? JSON format. What is that? Name. Okay, guys. So you have the 3 rows here, 3 rows. So these 3 rows are nothing but in the form of a JSON format. So the JSON is what? One of the semi-structured data, guys. JSON is nothing but what? One of the semi-structured data. Then apart from this, guys, what's the other formats you have it? XML is another format. Let's try to see what is in XML as well. Okay. So XML, if you write the same data in XML, how does it appears? Let's try to see this. So XML is nothing but what? It is called as extendable markup language or exponential markup language. And basically the data is recorded in the form of tags. This is called as a root tag, guys. And head then next one you have what's that? These are called as what? Row tags. So can you see here? Now, here you will have, guys, everyone. Let's see if you write the same data. Generally, this is called as a root tag. The root tag is nothing but this will be the main tag from where the data starts. That means the data starts from where? Name of the table. Na? So I can say that this will become your root tag. And this is called as the opening root tag. So guys, it is called as what? Opening root tag. It is called as what? Opening root tag. And the next one you have, what is it? Row tags, guys. What is the row tag? The first row is what? Name. So I can say the name. This is the opening row tag. This is the closing row tag. So how to differentiate the opening and closing tags? This one is given with the slash here. That means it's closing. But what about the data? The data is given between these two. And this is a highly case sensitive, guys. Then you have what's the next one? ID. What's the value of the ID? 443 and closing ID. Then there is no commas here, guys. There will be no commas here. Closing cell. and between these two you have the value. So what's the value you have it? I can see, guys, 70,000. Job, closing job. Okay, then you have at closing job, and between these two you can have the value. What's the value you have? Job. Can you see it? This is called as what is that, guys? The complete row. This is called as what? Complete row here. But do you have only one row or more than one row is there, guys? Can you tell me, everyone? Yes, this session should be the interactive session, guys. Tell me now, how many rows are there, guys? One rows or more than one row, guys? Just look it above. Hello. Yes, guys, I'm audible. So this is nothing but we have three rows are there, no? Just see here. These are the three rows we have it. 1, 2, and 3. So I'll just put it the second row. Same data. I'll just copy it. So guys, here you can see. Yes, am I audible, guys? Everyone, please respond. Then you have the Bobby. Then the next row is what's it, guys? Everyone, I can say. And the next row, salary is what is it? You have it, 80,000. And then you have the senior clerk as it is. And now, guys, can you see here? So these are the rows we have it. Okay, guys. The next one, you have one more row is there, no? Everyone, one more row. So I'll write it on the next row. Carl, 32, 90,000. Now, guys, I can say manager. That's it. Okay. So finally, once the three rows are done, can you see here? All the row tags are closed here, but there is one tag which is unclosed. That is called as a root tag. Now close the root tag. So this is called as the closing of the root tag, guys. Okay. So this is called as the data kept in the form of what? XML file. That is called as a extendable markup language. So anyways, this is a regular routine Excel, guys. This is simple Excel, you can say. Simple XML, you can say. Wherein here you can also have nested XML. Anyways, that type of data and type of nested, what is nested, everything, we'll discuss it once we get into the subject, guys. Okay. So that's it here, guys, everyone. And the next one, you have what is that? Finally, we have seen the semi-structured data and as well as the unstructured data. Sorry, semi-structured data and the structured data. What about the unstructured data, guys? Unstructured data is nothing but very simple. So here you have what's it? The unstructured data is nothing but unstructured data is nothing but what, guys? The data which is kept in the form of photos in your mobile phone. Then the videos. Then you have the chat history. All this is called as what, guys? Unstructured data. All this is called as what? Unstructured data. So now, as a data engineer, our job is to what? Our job, first basic job is collection of data and putting the data in proper format. So converting the semi-structured, unstructured data towards it, semi-structured format. And then you have the semi-structured data towards it, structured format. So guys, this is the proper data of that is the name. This is the way how you deal it. As a data engineer, first of all, we convert the unstructured to structured data. And finally, the structured data is called as what? The fully processed data or fully, okay, that is processed data, and that we can use it here for the further processing of the same, guys. Okay. So that's it for the day, guys. So if you have any doubts, please let me know. Yes, guys. Any doubts in this? So today we have discussed the structured data, semi-structured data, and as well as the unstructured data. And further, guys, we will start with the there is nothing but the technicality and rest of the things from tomorrow onwards, guys. Okay. So that's it for the day now. So please respond if you have any doubt.
Hi, Samir. Currently, I'm on bench. Can I get previous recordings?
Yeah, you can get it. Definitely, you can get it. Okay. Just do one thing now.
Mm,
You want the pre-recordings now?
yeah.
Um,
Means currently I'm on bench now, so 2 months time is very.
you can call me. We'll discuss it. Okay. This is my
Sure.
direct number.
Okay, Samir.
Mm. So any other questions if you have, you can ask me.
Okay.
Yes, thank you for the day. So we'll continue
Mm.
tomorrow with the thing here. Okay. Thank you.